In this video, we'll be treating 40 likely UTME questions on ecology. I'll be telling you why each and every option is right or wrong. Let's dive in. The first question with us today is, the study of organisms and the environment of an abandoned farmland is ecology of dash. We have A, community, B, population, species, habitat, and ecosystem. What do you think the answer is? Let's check it out. Number 1, community consists of an organism of different species. A population is what? Collection of organisms of the same species that can interbreed. Why a species? It's just a single organism, group of single organisms that can interbreed. So we have habitat, where an organism lives naturally, and we have the ecosystem, which is a collection of what? Both the living and non-living what? And non-living part of the what? Of the environment. An abandoned farmland, we have what? Both living and non-living, because we are going to have soil and we are going to have plants there, we are going to have animals there. So the right option here is what? The ecosystem. The right option here is what? Is the ecosystem. Which of the following instrument is not used in measuring abiotic factor in an habitat? The first thing is to note that what is the what? What are abiotic factors? Abiotic factors are what? Are non-living factors that affect what? An organism in an environment. Let's check that. We have the microscope. It's used to check the what? An organism that we cannot see with our eyes. Microscopic organism. Organism that we cannot see with what? An unaided eye. Thermometer is used to check what? Temperature. Hygrometer is used to check what? Density. And wind vane is used to know the direction of what? The direction of wind. 4 options that we have. We are going to see that what? Thermometer, hygrometer, and wind vane. They are all used to check what? Abiotic factors, right? Microscope is used to check what? Microorganism. And microorganisms are what? Are living things. And they are what? Part of the biotic factor. So our answer will be what? A microscope. Moving on. At which trophic level would the highest accumulation of non-biodegradable substance occur? We have the primary producer, tertiary consumer, primary consumer, and the what? Secondary consumer. There is a phenomenon called biomagnification, that is the accumulation of waste as we move up the food chain, telling us that the highest accumulation of waste will be at the what? Highest level of the food chain. Taking a look at the options, the highest level of the food chain will be what? The tertiary consumer. Since we are starting with the what? Primary producer, then the primary consumer, secondary consumer, then the what? The tertiary consumer. Therefore, our answer will be the what? The tertiary consumer. The complex relationship between the member of a community and between the community as a whole and its physical environment is dash. We have the ecosystem, habitat, environment, niche, and microhabitat. Habitat is where an organism, I've said that already, is where an organism lives naturally. Environment are non-living part of the community that affect what? That affect an organism. A niche is a specific part of the what? Of the habitat occupied by what? Some set of organisms. Microhabitat is not a term very common in biology. So the best thing that relates both an organism with its physical environment is the what? Is the ecosystem. A circuit disk is used in determination of dash. A circuit disk is used in determination of dash. We have the rainfall, we have tide, wave, turbidity, and current velocity. Rainfall is measured with what? Rain gauge. Tide is measured with what? Tidometer or what? Tide gauge. Wave is measured with buoy or wave recorder. Turbidity is measured with what? The circuit disk. While it was meter. So our answer here is what? Turbidity. Our answer is turbidity. Moving on. Bacteria inhabiting legumes root nodules which add atmospheric nitrogen to the soil are referred to as dash. We have the nitrifying bacteria, we have nitrifying bacteria, we have nitrogen fixing bacteria, and we have nitrogen putrefying bacteria. Let's start with the first option. The nitrifying bacteria. What are the nitrifying bacteria? The nitrifying bacteria are those bacteria that returns what? Nitrogen back into the environment in form of what? Atmospheric nitrogen. That is, they convert what? Nitrates back to what? Atmospheric what? Nitrogen. Nitrifying bacteria are the bacteria that what? Convert ammonia to what? Nitrate and nitrite. While nitrogen fixing bacteria are the ones that convert what? Atmospheric nitrogen to what? To ammonia. Nitrogen putrefying bacteria, they are not It's not a term that is really identified in biology. So, taking a look at our questions, we are going to see that the best answer here is what? It is nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, we have a food chain here. Grass to grasshopper, grasshopper to lizard, lizard to snake, and snake to hawk. In the above food chain, the organisms which are least in number are dash. You see, as we move up a food chain, the number of organisms you got, it will consistently be reducing. The highest level is going to have the what? The lowest number of organisms. Therefore, what's the highest level here? The hawk, right? So they are going to have the what? The least number of organisms. Therefore, our answer will be the what? The hawk. Moving on, which of this is not true? Grasses in the above food chain dash trap all sunlight, trap a small percentage of sunlight, are primary producer, are eaten by primary consumers, contains chlorophyll. Let's take a look at the option one after the other from the back. Contains chlorophyll, plants or all plants contain chlorophyll, that is right. Are eaten by primary consumers. The organism that eats producers are usually referred to as primary consumer, that is also right. They are primary producer. They are what? Because they can photosynthesize, they are what? They are producer. That's also right. Trap a small percentage of the sun energy. The sun energy is very enormous. It cannot trap everything. So it's only trapping what? A small percentage. That's also right. But the first option says what? Trap all the sun energy. It is not possible. The sun is what? Has a lot of energy. The energy of the sun is enormous. Therefore, that will be the what? That will be the answer. Moving on, we have the what? The leguminous plants, e.g. mucuna, are usually planted in cultivated farmland because they dash. A. Enrich the soil with phosphate. B. Provide animal with food. C. Enrich the soil with organic nitrogen. D. Protect the soil from being overheated. E. Protect the microorganisms in the soil. Protecting microorganisms in the soil is not making sense. Protecting the soil from being overheated, actually that one too is not sounding related. So like if you use the elimination method, option D and E is not even what part of the functions of what? Of a leguminous plant. So that those two options are gone. We now have what? Option A, B and C. Enrich the soil with phosphate. Leguminous plant does not produce phosphate. So option A too cannot be what? Cannot be part of the answer. So we have option B and C. Provide animals with food. Although as a leguminous plant, it provides animals with food, but the reason why it is being planted is because what? It contains what? It has nitrogen fixing bacteria in its root. Leguminous plants usually have what? Nitrogen fixing bacteria in their root nodules, which help to what? Enrich the soil by providing what? Organic nitrogen. Therefore, the best answer here is what? Option C. During thunderstorm, the energy of lightning discharge cause dash. Oxygen and nitrogen to combine, more carbon dioxide to be formed, nitrate to be converted to nitrite, nitrate to be converted to nitrogen, and the last one, death. Atmospheric nitrogen are fixed by reacting with what? Oxygen to form nitrogen 2 oxide, which is further oxidated to form nitrogen 4 oxide, which the nitrogen 4 oxide formed is now react with what? Rainwater to form either nitrous or nitric acid, which further dissociate to form what? Nitrate, which the plant will now later use. So now that's basically what happens to what? Atmospheric nitrogen during what? Lightning. Now let's check the option. Which of the option will now make sense? You see, the only one that makes sense there is the what? Option A, oxygen and nitrogen what? Combined to form what? Nitrogen 2 oxide, which is further oxidized to what? Nitrogen 4 oxide. All other options, they are what? They are not making sense. So our answer will be what? Option A. Moving on. The question says, choose the sequence which represents the correct order of organism. That is, it is asking us about what? Food chain. And we know that what? Our food chain will range from what? The producer to the what? To the tertiary consumer. Let's check. Option A, grass, yes. Snake, The first thing you are going to note there is that it is placing snake as the primary consumer. That is, snake is feeding on what? On grasses, which is not possible. Option A is wrong. Grass, then grasshopper, that's right. Toad can feed on grasshopper, yes. Snake can feed on toad, that's right. And hawk can feed on snake, that is very right. Let's check if the reason why other options are wrong. We have the grass, yes. Grasshopper, yes. Snake should feed on toad, not toad feeding on snake, so that is wrong. The next one, grass and snake. Grasshopper cannot feed on snakes, so that one too is what? It is wrong. Then we have grass. Then it places what? Grasshopper as what? As secondary consumer. And grasshopper cannot feed on snake. Therefore, that is what? That is also wrong. Therefore, our answer is what? Option B. Our answer is option B. The next question is asking about the meaning of nitrification. Nitrification is the process by which ammonia formed by nitrogen-fixing bacteria are converted to nitrite before they are now then converted to nitrate. So let's take a look at the option and see the one that looks like that. The first option is saying conversion of nitrate to nitrogen. That is what? The nitrification. So it's not correct. Fixing nitrogen into plant. That is what? Nitrogen fixation. Conversion of nitrate to nitrite. That is one of the steps in nitrification, but that is not the complete step. Changing of nitrogen to nitrate, then to nitrite. That is what? That is the complete step. Then the nitrogen cycle consists of what? A continuous cycle through which what? Nitrogen is circulated in the environment. So our answer will be the what? Option D. Our answer will be the option D. The instrument used in measuring the speed of wind is dash. What is that? Yes, you are right. It is a thermometer. The first option here is barometer is used for what? Pressure. Wind gauge is used for what? Wind gauge. Is there anything like wind gauge? Actually, nothing. They just put it there. So we have the wind vane. Wind vane is used to measure wind direction. We have the anemometer used to measure what? The wind speed. While the hydrometer is used to measure what? The relative density. There's a problem with this. People used to mistake this thing. Hydrometer and hygrometer. Hydrometer is used to measure what? Density. While hygrometer is used to measure what? Relative humidity. Hydro is what? Density, DD, while hygrometer is used for what? Relative humidity. Okay, the next question is saying what? Population is defined as a collection of dash. I've said this before. Let's quickly go through the option. Okay, we have not picked the answer of the last one. Our answer is what? The anemometer. A option. The next one is asking us about what? The meaning of population. Similar organisms that are found in the same habitat. No, the reason why it is wrong is that although population consists of similar organisms that are found in the same habitat, but it must be what? Of the same species. They must be able to interbreed before we can refer to them as what? As a population. So similar organisms that breed in the same habitat. The reason why this option is wrong is that similar organisms can be in the same habitat and they can be breeding, but they are not interbreeding. Once they are not interbreeding, it is not what? A population. Similar organisms that interbreed freely in the same habitat. That is our answer. But let's check what? Let's check the other options too. Similar organism in the same habitat. That one too is what? It is wrong. Different organism in the same habitat. That one too is what? It is very, very wrong. Which of the food chain is not possible in a forest? Take a look at the last part. In a forest. So let's take a look at the options. We have diatom. Diatom is an aquatic plant and we are talking about a forest. So that's a what? A potential answer. Let's check the other. We have fly to toad. Then snake can feed on toad and then hawk can feed on snake. That is very possible in a what? In a forest environment. We have leaf. Antelope can feed on leaf. Man can feed on antelope and lion can eat man. So that is what? A very possible what? Food chain also. We have leaf. Caterpillar can feed on leaf. Bird can feed on caterpillar. And then lion can feed on birds. Yes. Although lion does not usually hunt birds, they hunt for what? Bigger animals, bigger mammals, or though they can still eat them too. So it is still very possible. We have leaf. Goat can feed on leaf. Man can feed on goat. Then lion can feed on what? On man. So the option that is our correct answer will be what? The one with diatom, which is what? An aquatic plant. This is our what? This is our answer. Moving on, we have A pyramid of number can be divided as dash. We have pyramid of energy and we have pyramid of number. Pyramid of energy is the what? A pyramid made up of what? The total energy present at each tropic level. While the pyramid of number is a succession of what? Each organism in a what? In a food chain. The pyramid of number is the number of organisms per each tropic level in a food chain. So let's take a look at the options that we have. The number of plants and animals in an ecosystem, that is wrong. Arrangement of organisms according to their habitat, that is also wrong. The numerical relationship of a food chain, yes, a potential answer. The number of plants and animals in a population, that is wrong. The total number of species and genera in a community, that is what? That is also wrong. The answer is what? The numerical relationship of what? Of a food chain. That is, the numerical relationship is trying to tell us the number of organisms present in each tropic level of a food chain. So our answer will be what? Option C. Which of the following instruments is used in determining what? Turbidity of water. We have done this before, and that will be what? The Secchi disc. Green plants are important in the ecosystem because they are dash. What are the green plants? They are the producers. Without them, we cannot survive. They are the what? They are the primary producers. So our answer will be option B. All other options are what? They are all consumers. Which of the following instruments is not used in measuring an abiotic factor? What I've told you the meaning of abiotic factor the other time. Abiotic factors are what? They are non-living factors affecting what? Organisms. Let's take a look at them one after the other. We have the microscope. I think this question was also repeated. Yes, we have done it before. So our answer will be what? The microscope, which is used for what? Measuring microorganisms. Being microorganism. Nitrifying bacteria, nitrosomonas, convert ammonia to dash. Convert ammonia to dash. We have nitrate, nitric acid, nitrate, and nitrous oxide. What is it going to convert it to? I was telling you the other time that what? It will convert ammonia to what? Nitrite. The one that is what? Nitrite. Then before what? Nitrate. Therefore our answer will be what? Nitrite. So moving on, anemometer is an instrument used to measure what? Wind speed. I think we have talked about that before. Which of the following group of factors is completely abiotic? That is abiotic, everything there must be what? Non-living. Let's take a look at it. Salinity, type, planting is what? An aquatic plant. So option A is wrong. Temperature, pH, soil, insects makes option B to be wrong. Wind, altitude, humidity, light. Everything is here are what? Abiotic. Let's take a look at D. Conifers is a what? A living thing under what? Gymnosperms. So it is also wrong. Conifers is a living thing. So option D is also wrong. And the last option there, soil, water, bacteria is also a living thing. Therefore, it is also wrong. The correct answer will now be what? Our option C, which consists of what? Wind, altitude, humidity, and light. Denitrifying bacteria in nature release gaseous nitrogen directly from dash. Ammonium salt, no. Soil nitrate, yes. Thunderstorm, no. Soil nitrite, no. It is what they call it is nitrifying bacteria that convert what? Soil nitrite to nitrate. Then denitrifying bacteria will now convert what? The soil nitrate to what? Atmospheric nitrogen. So our answer will be what? Soil nitrate. Which of the following food chain is in the correct sequence? So let's take a look at them. We have the weed, tadpole, beetle, fish, man. That seems right. Weed, tadpole, fish, beetle. How will a beetle eat a fish? That's wrong. So we cannot consider that. Tadpole, beetle, weed. Every food chain starts to what? A producer. That is also wrong. Man cannot start a food chain. We are tertiary consumers. That is also wrong. Fish cannot start a food chain because they are also consumers. That's also wrong. So the answer here is what? Option A. The answer is option A. Atmospheric nitrogen is directly replenished in nature through dash. Activities of denitrifying bacteria, breakdown of ammonium salt in the soil, the activities of nitrifying bacteria, the activities of nitrogen fixing bacteria in the root nodules, ejection, decay, and death. That option E is out of the answer. The activities of nitrogen fixing bacteria in the root nodules, they pick what? They pick nitrogen from the atmosphere and they are removing from the atmosphere. They are not restoring. They are not replenishing it. So that is also wrong. The activities of nitrifying bacteria, that is also wrong because what? They convert nitrite to nitrate. So it is not replenishing the what? Atmospheric nitrogen. We are left with option A and B. The breakdown of ammonium salt in the soil, it is not related. The breakdown of ammonium salt, it is not what? It is not related. The answer is what? The activities of what? Denitrifying bacteria, which convert what? Soil nitrate back to what? Atmospheric nitrogen. Through that, we are replenishing the what? The nitrogen in the what? Atmosphere. Therefore, our answer will be what? Option A. Okay, we have in an ecosystem, animal which feed directly on plant are called dash. They are the what? They are the primary consumer. Those that now feed directly on primary consumers, they are called what? Secondary consumers. Those that feed on secondary consumers, they are called what? The tertiary consumers. I hope you get that. Therefore, our answer will be what? Option B. In an agricultural ecosystem, the biotic component consists of dash. An ecosystem consists of what? Both biotic and non-biotic. Now we are now considering what? An agricultural ecosystem. Let's take a look at the options. We have the crop, pest, beneficial insect. They are all what? Biotic. A possible answer. Crop, temperature and humidity. Humidity and temperature are what? Abiotic. That is wrong. Pest, beneficial insect and water. Water is abiotic. That is also wrong. Crop, water and soil. Water is also abiotic. That is what? Also wrong. So the answer is what? Crop, pest and what? Beneficial insect. Option A. Which of the following ecological factors are common to both terrestrial and aquatic plants? Aquatic habitat. Option A. That is what we are looking for is what? What is happening? What can affect both aquatic and terrestrial what? Habitat. Option A, we have the what? The rainfall, yes. Temperature, yes. Light, yes. Wind, yes. Salinity is a what? Is a functionality of what? The concentration of salt in the water. So it is what? A function of aquatic environment, not what? Terrestrial environment. Therefore, option B is wrong. Tide affects what? Oceans. Tides affect oceans. Therefore, it is also wrong. And the last one, we have the salinity again, making the option D to be wrong. The only answer, the only correct one there is what? The option A. It affects what? Both terrestrial and aquatic. In a community, bacteria and fungi are referred to as dash producers. Although some bacteria are photosynthetic, they can act as producers, but all fungi, they are not what? Photosynthetic. So, and when they are saying bacteria and fungi together, so it cannot be producers. Scavengers are organisms that feed on what? Dead animals, while consumers are what? Anything that cannot what? That cannot produce their food by themselves. Since some bacteria can produce their food, so some of them are not consumers, they are producers. But the best option that can describe both bacteria and fungi is what? Decomposition. It is what? They are decomposers. They what? They decompose dead organism to release what? Lock in organic compound that are there. They are what? They are decomposers. Which of the following relate to edaphic factor? Edaphic factors, this is what? The nature of the what? Of the ground. Abiotic, non-living. Biotic, living. Edaphic, this is what? Nature of the ground, like the slope, the plane of the ground, the mountain, stuff like that. So the structure of the earth's surface, that seems like a possible answer, right? The influence of living things on one another, that's a what? A biotic factor, so it cannot be the answer. Temperature, rainfall and humidity, those are what? Abiotic factors. The influence of soil on plant and animal, no. Is this with what? The structure of what? Of the ground. So our best options there is what? Option A. Okay, nitrifying bacteria are important because of dash. Oh yeah, what is the answer? Release nitrogen to the atmosphere, that is the function of what? The nitrifying bacteria. convert atmospheric nitrogen to ammonia, that is the function of what? Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Combine ammonia with nitrogen, that is not what? That is not a possible reaction. Oxidize ammonium salt to what? To nitrate. That is what? Very correct. The most important physical factor which affect an organism living in intertidal zone of the seesaw is dash. The first question is you should ask yourself is what? What is an intertidal zone? An intertidal zone is the area where the ocean meet the land between what? High and low tides. So basically it will be affected mostly by what? Tides. So let's see what we have here. We have the pH, we have salinity, we have wave action, and we have temperature. Which one do you think will affect it? Definitely it will be what? Wave action, because wave action is this is what? Tide. Okay, the next question is which of the following has the greatest influence on the distribution of animals in marine and freshwater habitat? The first one is the pH, which is a measure of acidity or basicity of what? Of the water. Although it has influence, but organisms can still manage the what? Slight variations in pH. Then we have salinity, which is the what? The degree of what? Concentration of salt in water, which is very high in what? In marine habitat, but very low in freshwater habitat. Salinity, increase in salinity can bring about what? Exosmosis in organism and can result to their death. So it is a very important factor. Let's take a look at others. Water current, most of organisms are what? Are very strong swimmers and they can withstand what? Most water current. So although it can affect some percentage of organism, but the effect is lesser compared to what? Salinity. And we have the turbidity also, which is the what? The degree with which light can penetrate water. Although it can affect the distribution of organism, but it's of what? Of lower effect compared to what? Salinity. Salinity can result to death compared to what? All other things, all other factors that was listed. So we are going to take salinity as the one that can affect what? Most. Which of this group of animals is likely to be found in fresh water? Fresh water only. So let's take a look. We have bloodworm, pond skaters, and scorpion. Scorpion are found on land, so A is wrong. Bloodworm, pond skater, and dragonfly larva. Okay. Pond skaters, scorpion, option C is wrong. Pond skaters, blue worm, and ant lions. The larvae of ant lions are usually found on dry land, so option D is also wrong. So the best answer there is what? Option B, that has what? The bloodworm, pond skaters, and what? Dragonfly larva. One of the characteristics of plant in the savanna is dash. Possession of thin, smooth bark. That is wrong. Why? Because it is a characteristic of what? Plant in tropical rainforest. Possession of large taproot, although some savanna plants like acacia tree develop deep roots underground in order to tap what? Underground water. It is not the most defining characteristics of savannas, so we are not going for that. Production of what? Of seed on mother plant. That deals with what? Pollination, so it is out of the game. Possession of thick flaky bark. That is a distinct characteristic of what? Savanna plant, because it's what? It protects them what? Against fire outbreaks, which is what? Is a very common phenomenon in the savanna. So our answer will be what? The possession of what? Thick flaky bark. If you have stick around to this point, it shows how determined and focused you are. I want to use this opportunity to encourage you. Keep working, keep showing up. Your dreams are valid. Let's continue. Dead plants and animals are decomposed by bacteria and fungi into dash. Nitrate, no. Nitrite, no. Amino acid, that's also wrong. It is what? Into ammonia, from which it will now be converted into what? Atmospheric nitrogen. The salinity of a brackish environment. I've mentioned the three types of aquatic environment that we have before. We have the marine, freshwater, and the brackish or the estuarine. The salinity of the brackish. Brackish contains what? Characteristics of both what? Both aquatic and the what? And the freshwater. It is in the middle of the two. So the salinity of brackish environment, it will increase or decrease based on the what? On the volume of water. If the volume of water is high, especially during rainy season, it will what? The salinity will be low. But during dry season, when the volume of the water falls, the salinity will what? It will increase. Let's take a look at the options. Option A says increase immediately after rain. That is not true, because since after rain the volume of water will increase. Increased volume of water will decrease the what? The salinity. So option A is wrong. Increase at the end of the season. Which of the season are they talking about? They did not tell us whether it is rainy season or dry season. That is also wrong. Decrease with increase in microorganism. Microorganism does not have a direct influence on the salinity, which is the what? Concentration of salt. That's also wrong. Increase during dry season. Yes, that is very correct, because what? During dry season the volume of water will fall, thereby increasing the what? Concentration of salt. So our answer will be what? Option D. Our answer will be option D. Important abiotic factor which affect all plant and animal in the habitat are dash. We have temperature and turbidity. Although temperature affect all organisms, but turbidity only affect organisms in aquatic environment. So option A is wrong. Rainfall and relative humidity. Although rainfall affects all organisms in all habitat, but relative humidity varies with location, thereby limiting the what? Its influence on what? On organism. We have, which make it to be wrong. We have option C, salinity, wind direction and relative humidity again. Salinity is basically a function of aquatic environment. Therefore, its effect is what? It is also limited, making it to be wrong. We have salinity again, making it to be wrong. Then we have option D, temperature and what? And rainfall. It affects what? All forms of what? Habitat that we have. Therefore, that will be the what? The answer. Next question is saying that the most important factor which influence organisms' way of life in habitat are dash. A, physical and biotic environment. The physical referring to what? The abiotic. Okay, food and water availability. Temperature, water, light, and predator-prey relationship. They are still all what? Under what? Physical and what? Biotic environment. Competition for food. Still under what? Still under it. So the best and the most comprehensive what? Option there is the what? The physical and the what? The biotic environment. And the last question for today. Organisms in an ecosystem are usually grouped according to the what? According to their trophic level as dash. We have the carnivore and epiphyte. No, carnivores is based on a feeding relationship. Consumer and parasite. Parasite is based on feeding relationship, while consumers are based on what? Are based on trophic level. So it is not the same. We have producer and consumer. They are both based on what? Trophic level. Producer and saprophyte. No, because saprophyte is a what? Is a form of consumer. Therefore, our answer is what? Option C, the producer and consumers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making it to the end. Don't forget to like, comment and share with your friend and your foes. Keep working. Your dream of scoring that 320 plus in JAMB is very realistic. See you in our next video. Thank you.